nominated me for sainthood right after the Pope. So I am really thankful. Hey, I love you. Way to go, baby. Thank you guys for being here. Are you having just too much fun? That's the great thing about CPAC. It is the best party of the year, don't you think? Well, I'll tell you, it is fun to be able to be here. This is great to be able to be here, to be a part of the Blogger Award today, because bloggers are where it's at. Raise your hand if you have a blog. How many bloggers do we have here? Excellent, very good. How many of you are tweeting right now as we're talking? Okay, and Facebook, I understand, is so old nobody does it anymore. Is that true? Oh, all right, okay. Well, listen, I am so with it. You see, my husband and I were privileged. We brought 23 foster children into our home. We raised them and we launched them into the world. So they're part of this next successful generation. And we've completed our task of raising 5 biological kids. The oldest one is 31. The youngest one is 19. If they aren't gainfully employed, they will be gainfully employed, because we're not taking them back home. They're done. They're out. That's our message to the next generation. Grow up and assume the responsibilities of life. It's fun. That's what I love so much about the Tea Party. It's a very, very simple concept. We believe that the Constitution of the United States is where it's at. We love this document. We believe that no government should spend more money than what they take in. Very simple concept. And we believe that you live within your means absolutely at all times. We are taxed enough already. That's it. That's who we are. Very simple creed. But it energizes us. You know why? Not because we're selfish little Republicans. Not because we're selfish little conservatives. It's because when we stand alone, because we talk a lot as libertarians, as conservatives, as Republicans, we talk about personal responsibility, embracing life, standing alone, making it on our own. That's a good thing. But to a lot of people, when they hear that, it sounds selfish to them. There's nothing selfish about it, because you have to have enough just to survive, and you have to have a little bit more to help somebody else. You have to. That's how the game works. One thing I love about you and about your generation, you get a concept called community. You believe in community and the idea that we really do care about each other and that we have compassion on the least among us. That's a good thing. But how do we do that? You do that by making sure you got enough and a little bit more, and then you do something with that excess. That's how it works. It's a simple concept, but it works. One of our kids has a real broken heart for Somali refugees. In Minneapolis, where I'm from, we have the largest population of Somalians outside of Somalia. And our son has a very broken heart and is very compassionate about a lot of these kids that have come in. Somalia is a war-torn country. They effectively haven't had a government for years. They come out of chaos. Many parts of Somalia are what you consider a Stone Age area. And that's not a pejorative term, and that's not to put them down. It's just that they don't have development. They've come over here, and not only do they not have anything, or they aren't able to speak the English language, they don't even understand necessarily the skills and the lifestyle moving into a first world country. And so he's, for the last 3 years, been a teacher, a special ed teacher. Now imagine, you come from a completely different culture, completely different faith background, completely different economic strata, can't speak the language, and you have special ed. Now, is that disadvantaged or what? But what he's decided to do is take his life and take his heart and pour it into some worthy kids, they're all worthy kids, to help bring them up and give them the best thing that any of us can give. That's this. It's love, it's care, it's our brain, it's what we have. Because you know, it isn't just being taxed and have your money taken away from you. It's who you are. That's usually the bigger gift. What are you giving personally out of yourself? We have another one. I didn't come up here to brag about my kids, but we have another one that just decided she wanted to go to Haiti. That's the poorest country in this hemisphere. And so she's in Haiti right now in an orphanage. She's not getting paid because, you see, she was smart. When she went through college, she made a very important decision. She decided she didn't want to graduate with a bucket load of debt. And so she saved money before she went to college. She worked while she was in college. She paid her bills. Mom and Dad didn't stroke out the check for this girl to go to college. We helped her a little bit, but she knew she was obligated. But she wanted to graduate debt-free because she wanted to have an option. Hey, she wanted to get married. She didn't want to bring debt into a marriage. She wanted to maybe be a mom. She wanted to be able to have the option and the freedom to stay home with kids and not have to work because of a boatload of debt. She made a very smart decision. And so because of that decision of personal responsibility, and so that she has enough and a little bit more, she was able to make that decision, and now she's helping orphans. She's working in a wound clinic. We do, if you have WhatsApp, any of you guys have WhatsApp? So we communicate on WhatsApp, and so she sends me pictures of the babies that she's holding and the people that she's helping. One day I was going in to vote on the House chamber, and all of a sudden she showed up on my FaceTime on my iPhone. I was just walking in there, and she said, "Hey Mom, look at this chicken." And she was showing me chickens that were going along on the road. She's having the time of her life. Why? She has a heart of love, compassion, that's broken for people because she has enough and a little bit more. That's what we're about. That's what this country has always been about. An opportunity to come, an opportunity to be able to have the dignity of supplying for yourself and a little bit more for somebody else. And it's what I love so much about your generation. You really, truly care. You care about other people. I don't think it's caring when our government is taking away money from you that you need. It's not caring when gasoline doesn't have to be $4 a gallon. It could be $2 a gallon. As a matter of fact, I visited the Natural Gas Caucus here at the Capitol. And one thing that they said is we have trillions and trillions and trillions of cubic square feet of natural gas. Why do I bring this up? Because it impacts you. Because if we can take natural gas and if we can liquefy it, and it is 23 cents a gallon, and you can convert your car or your buses to natural gas, would you, let me ask you, this is a tough question, would you rather pay $4 a gallon for gasoline or 23 cents a gallon for gasoline? Okay, that's why I like you. You're very smart, besides being good looking. But you see, why not? Why not? Why not embrace the future? I love this party that calls themselves progressives. Don't you love this? They are desperately clinging to the past. If you want to be a progressive, move forward. Change. These are the changers. Change already. They are so wedded to the ideas of the past that don't work and that fail. And that's why we're here. Because we are about a future. We are about a hope. We don't curse the darkness. We light a candle. Because this is not doom and gloom. We are living in the most exciting time. I've talked to scientists who have told me that Alzheimer's, let me just tell you about one disease. This is something that we can do in our lifetime. They tell us that within 10 years we could cure Alzheimer's. Now you're a long way, many of you, from Alzheimer's. But for people like me who are like right there right now, this is getting to be a big issue. We're spending $172 billion a year. This is like, now we're talking real money. $172 billion a year to fight the ravages of Alzheimer's. You know what they're telling us? By 2050, that's not that long from now, we could spend $20 trillion just to care for people with Alzheimer's because they expect, because of our burgeoning aging population, this impacts you because you're going to be paying for people like me. There's going to be 3 times as many of us who are suffering with Alzheimer's. What are we going to do? Set people with Alzheimer's out in a snowbank? That's not care. That's not compassion. We need to care for people. How do you do that? We can cure it. Within 10 years, We gave ourselves a goal. Within 10 years, we were going to put a man on the moon, and we did. Just think, within 10 years, we could cure a disease and save $20 trillion? Why wouldn't you do this? Why wouldn't you do this today so that you get there that much sooner? We did it in the 1950s. In 1950, the biggest disease that the United States worried about was the scourge of polio. You ever heard of polio? You probably got a vaccine. You know why you did? Because a famous, brilliant researcher, Jonas Salk, teamed up with the March of Dimes Foundation. They teamed up, he developed a vaccine, and in $1950, our government estimated we would be spending $100 billion a year to deal with polio. We cured it. We not only saved money, we saved the most important thing that there is in any society. Human capital. Human capital. You see, that's why my son is pouring himself into Somali refugee kids who are special needs. Because they are human capital. We need them, and we don't want to lose one. And it's why my daughter is spending her life pouring herself into orphans in Haiti at a wound clinic. Because we don't want to lose one. Because human capital is it. That's it. That's a whole game, human capital. So enough with this false boasting of compassion and caring. It is not caring and compassion if we aren't pouring ourselves into human capital. At the end of the day, we do what we need to do to innovate, to grow, to change, to move on so that your life is better. Not so that you can be a selfish conservative, but so that you have enough, and you grow, and you have a little bit more, because then we all succeed. It's community. And I love that. I love that. And the story gets told, and we come up with the new ideas, and we share these new innovations through this marvelous technology that we have been given. The Steve Jobs of the world didn't get a government grant. Steve Jobs of the world just did it. And so now, literally in your pocket, you can have your physician on FaceTiming, and you can have medical apps, and you can make the world turn upside down. I am so excited about the future. I'm so excited about your future. You really can be the next greatest generation because of what's available to you through technology, what's available to you through cures. What we need to do right now is make sure that that is your future, not a so-called progressive future that wants to tie you to policies that failed 100 years ago. You're better than that. So through the miracle of bloggers, we're telling this very, very good story. And that's why I'm here today, because we're going to now give out the award to the Blogger of the Year. And I am so grateful and so proud of all of you for telling this wonderful story that we have to share. So with that, let's have our Blogger of the Year award. And it's a girl, by the way. Isn't this cool? Sorry, I shouldn't have